Hey guys, it's Sunday afternoon and I thought I would try to send y'all some videos to kick off your week this week, since we didn't get to meet at the beginning of October, and part of my job is to mentor and hopefully help guide and direct both from the perspective of what y'all need to do administratively, but also in terms of sales, and just really hopefully help you guys to meet the goals that you have. So I'm going to send out a few short videos, hopefully 5 minutes or less, that you can watch. Probably 3 or 4 of them will be done today. And hopefully you can watch them or listen to them in your car just as you go throughout the week. And it will spur you on to hopefully accomplish the goals that you have set for this month. This is just for my little group of people that I'm mentoring. So, but I don't mind you sharing it with whoever. But at the same time, this is really geared more toward home health and the expectations that I think we have for you guys and that you have for yourselves. So the very first video is going to be about why you're doing what you're doing. When I first reached out to y'all on email, I asked you that question, why do you do what you do? And probably everybody has a little bit of a different answer. Hopefully all of y'all enjoy helping people. And I know that's a lot about what we do. I'm hoping that each one of you have a financial goal. I don't mind telling you that was part of why I changed from being a speech therapist for 25 years into doing sales. So, it could be for financial reasons that you're doing this as well. For some of you, it could be that you really just enjoy being able to help the people in your office. You like having a carrot dangled in front of you in terms of the goals that the company has set for you, and you like to be able to reach and exceed those goals. But for each one of us, it is different. But I wanted to address that because I know I've been through this. I've only been working for LHC for about a year, a little over a year. Actually, when I think about it, it's like a year and a half. But there are days that I'm out there that, we're encouraged to get that referral before lunch and referral after lunch, that kind of goal for the day. That, I'm doing everything. I'm pulling out all the stops and nothing is happening. And I can go through 2 or 3 days of just really feeling kind of defeated in my role. And I have to stop and go back to, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Really to keep myself motivated. So I thought I'd share with y'all just a quick story. I think I've told most of you, but just to remind you of this story, right after I got started working, I had one of our physical therapists stop me and say, before you came along, Auburn was going through kind of a dry spell. We only had one marketer, and she was doing a great job in the Auburn, Opelika area. But in terms of Phoenix City, we had nobody there for a while. And so that's where this young man worked primarily. Having said that, our census was down to 175, and to give you perspective, it's now close to 300, 305 is where we've been in the past. So we've definitely grown a lot in the last year and a half. But at that time, this young man was telling me, if we don't have referrals coming in, then I don't get to feed my family. So if you do your job well, I get to put food on my table. My little girls get to take ballet. My wife doesn't have to have 4 other jobs to help us pay the bills. And I'll be honest with y'all, I had not thought about how many ways what we do makes a difference. So I thought I'd go over that just real quick. If you do your job well, then you'll be able to reach the goals that you have set for yourself that are financial, that may be about helping other people, may be about helping your office. If you do your job well, all those things can be accomplished. But in addition, if you do your job well, then your agency can have the census it needs to be able to hire the people and the staff that it needs. If your office needs another office administrator, if they need another team leader or another marketer, they can't do that if they can't pay the bills. And the only way they pay the bills is if you do your job. If you do your job well, then you're going to have that sweet person who possibly could be falling through the cracks. That elderly person who needs help because they have fallen recently or they don't understand their medications. And I have a story, my mom was that way, in that she was on a lot of medications she didn't need to be on, and it wasn't until those medications were reconciled and she got off some of the medicines that she was on that we were able to see, wow, she really didn't need all that. And cognitively, she she kind of came back to us, if you will, and we got our mom back just by having her meds reconciled. There's that person who they don't want anybody to know that they are struggling, and it is only because of home health that they are able to maintain their independence. So if you do your job well, that person is taken care of. If you do your job well, then you actually make the lives of people in your doctor's offices better. If you do your job well, the phone won't ring as much. If you do your job well, that person may not end up back in the hospital. And if you do your job well, then and the office is billing for home health, then you're helping their bottom line. And I love thinking about that what we do is not just about us or even our agency, but it really can make a difference in the lives of those people that we come in contact with every day. If you do your job well, then it's just like the physical therapist said. The people in your office, they'll be able to have the number of calls that they need. Your PTs, your OTs, your speech therapists, your nurses, they all really do depend on you being able to bring that in. And so on those days that you, I don't know, are feeling like you can't make another call, or you feel like what you're doing is not making a difference, I want you to stop and think about your why. Think about why you're doing this. Think about who you're helping. Think about how just that one more call can make a difference. Asking the right questions can make a difference. And don't give up. Don't give up. Even if you're not getting the referral that day, it's good to remember, and you'll hear me say often that I did something today that's going to pay off 3 weeks from now. I did something today that I'm going to see the benefit of that tomorrow. So for those of you who needed to hear that today, just remember your why. Keep that perspective so that you can keep going even when it gets tough. So hopefully this will help you on those days.